When people think about insurance, they usually think about life insurance. But here's the surprising truth. You are far more likely to face a serious illness during your lifetime than you are to die prematurely. Cancer, heart attack, and stroke alone account for almost 90% of critical illness claims in Canada. And while many survive, the financial impact of those illnesses can be devastating. Not just the medical costs, but the lost income, the long recovery, and the lifestyle adjustments that come with it. So the big question is this: do you actually need critical illness insurance? Or is it just another product being sold to you? Hi, if you're new here, my name is Elizabeth from Boss Budget Labs, and I work with Canadians, business owners, professionals, and families who want to protect their wealth and plan for the future with clarity. And in this video, we're going to break down what critical illness insurance actually is, why it exists even in Canada where we have healthcare, who actually benefits from it, and who may not need it, how much coverage makes sense, the misconcept that cause people to overlook it. If you find this valuable, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for your expert financial content. What is critical illness insurance? Critical illness insurance pays you a tax-free lump sum if you're diagnosed with a covered serious illness. The big three conditions are cancer, heart attacks, and stroke. But many policies cover much more. Things like multiple sclerosis, kidney failure, major organ transplants, blindness, and even certain neurological conditions. The money is paid directly to you. And here's the important part. You can use it however you choose. It's not like disability insurance, which replaces a portion of your income with restrictions. With critical illness coverage, you could pay your bills while you recover, cover private or experimental treatments not available under provincial plans, travel abroad for specialized care, hire help at home, or take extended time off, work without stress. It's designed to give you financial breathing room at a time when your focus should be on recovery, not on money. Why it exists in Canada? A lot of Canadians think we already have universal health care. So why would I need this? Here's the reality. Our healthcare system doesn't cover everything. Yes, hospital stays and doctor visits are covered. The gaps still exist. Prescription drugs outside the hospital may not be fully covered. New or experimental treatments often come at a cost. Out-of-country care can run into six figures, and the biggest gap of all, income loss. If you're a business owner or a professional who can't work for 6 months or a year, your income could drop dramatically. Example, a 45-year-old consultant making $150,000 annually suffers a stroke. Even if provincial health covers the hospital care, she may not be able to work for a year. Without income, her family could struggle with mortgage payments and business overhead. A critical illness payout of $200,000 would give her flexibility to recover without worrying about bills. Who actually needs it? This isn't a one-size-fits-all product. Let's look at the Canadians who benefit the most. Business owners and self-employed professionals. If you run your own business, you likely don't have an employer benefit plan. That means no safety, not if illness keeps you from working. Critical illness insurance can cover both personal, living expenses and business expenses, keeping the lights on while you recover. Families with significant financial obligations. If you have a large mortgage, kids in school, or a lifestyle that depends heavily on your income, a serious illness could derail everything. Insurance helps cover those fixed costs during downtime. High income earners in their prime years, professionals in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, are in their highest earning years. The risk here isn't dying young, it's losing the ability to work during those years. Critical illness coverage protects that human capital. Those with a family history of illness, if your parents or siblings have a history of cancer, heart disease, or other major illnesses, coverage may provide extra security. Who might not need it now? For some Canadians, critical illness coverage may not be essential. Retirees with strong assets, if you're financially independent and can self-insure, you may not need it. Your retirement savings can cover lifestyle adjustments. those with comprehensive benefits. If you already have robust disability insurance plus a large emergency fund, you may already have enough protection. Singles with no dependents and minimal debt. If no one relies on your income and you have modest expenses, critical illness insurance might be less of a priority. The key is this: insurance is meant to cover gaps. If there's no gap, you may not need it. How much coverage do you need? There's no universal answer, but here's a helpful guideline. 1 to 2 years of income, that's usually enough to replace your salary while you recover, pay off large debts, or cover mortgage payments, provide flexibility or medical or personal care choices. Example, a 40-year-old lawyer earning $200,000 may want $250,000, $400,000 in coverage. That gives her enough to step away from work for a year or two without financial stress. Term vs. permanent coverage. Just like life insurance, critical illness coverage comes in two main types. Term critical illness insurance covers you for a set period, like to age 65 or 75. More affordable, best suited for your working years when income replacement matters most. Permanent critical illness insurance covers you for life. More expensive, but can include a return of premium features. If you never claim some or all of your premiums, may be refunded later. For most Canadians, term coverage to age 65 is practical. It covers your highest earning years, but for high net worth Canadians, permanent coverage can also play a role in estate and tax planning. Common misconceptions: I don't need it because healthcare is free. Healthcare covers treatment, but not income loss or the hidden costs of recovery. Disability insurance is enough. Disability pays part of your income, but critical illness gives you a lump sum you can use however you want. It's too expensive. Term coverage can be surprisingly affordable, especially if purchased when you're younger and healthier. It'll just use my savings. Even strong investment portfolios can take a hit if you're forced to withdraw during a downturn. Insurance preserves your long-term wealth. Case studies. With VS, without coverage, let's look at two families. Family A. With coverage, Mike, 42, runs a small business and earns $180,000 a year. He has $250,000 in critical illness coverage. When diagnosed with cancer, he takes a year off for treatment and recovery. The payout covers his family's expenses and keeps his businesses afloat. He recovers without going into debt. Family B. Without coverage, David, also 42, earns the same income but has no critical illness insurance. When he's diagnosed with cancer, his family is forced to dip into savings and sell investments at a loss to cover the mortgage and bills. His business suffers, and financial stress adds to the emotional toll. The difference isn't in the illness, it's in the financial resilience. So how to decide if it's right for you? Ask yourself 3 questions. If I couldn't work for a year due to illness, how would my family manage financially? Do I have enough savings or income streams to self-insure? Would I want the flexibility to choose private treatment or extended recovery without money stress? If those questions make you uneasy, critical illness coverage may be worth considering. Here's the bottom line. Critical illness insurance isn't about dying, it's about surviving. It's about making sure that if you face cancer, a heart attack, or a stroke, you can focus on recovery without worrying about bills, debt, or derailing your long-term financial plan. For some Canadians, it's an essential safety net. For others, with strong assets and benefits, it may not be necessary. The key is tailoring it to your own situation. If you'd like clarity on whether critical illness insurance makes sense for you or how much coverage you should actually have, book a time with me. Using the link in the description below, we'll reveal your numbers and give you a clear, straightforward answer.